Are you ready for the largest protest in American history? Well, get ready. I have an exclusive update for you. No King's Day 2.0. Set your calendars October 18th, 2025. And I just spoke to one of the founders and leaders of this movement, Ezra Levin, who dropped a bombshell. They're expecting more than 11 million Americans, that is 3.5% of the American population, coming out on October 18th in protest of the Trump administration's actions, in protest of what this administration has been doing in terms of curbing civil liberties, curbing civil rights, and so much more. This is a historic protest, a historic day, and they're expecting millions of people. Why is that 11 million number so significant? Because according to Ezra, the first protest had about 5 or 6 million people. That is a lot. That ranks as one of the largest protests in American history, easily top 10. Well, they want to double that, because when 3.5% of the American population comes out and does something, votes on something, advocates for something, that is enough to make change. That is historically the number that you want to reach. You want to reach that 3.5%. 11 million will probably get them there. They're expecting protests not just in the United States. They're expecting protests in all 50 states across the country and countries across the globe. More than a dozen countries across the globe are expected to participate in this significant form of protest. Now, folks, I was there on the ground in Washington, D.C. during No King's Day 1 back earlier this year, and I will tell you this, there were more than 100,000 people on the ground. It was one of the most historic moments that I've been a part of. People collectively, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, had nothing to do with party affiliation. It had everything to do with just one common goal, and that's to fight authoritarianism, fight what is happening in Washington, D.C. right now, take on the Trump administration's policy and use our collective voices. I've said for a long time that our collective voices matter so much more when they are all collectively loud together. This is not a one-person job. This is a job for 11, 12, 15 million people that we might see out on the ground making their voice heard on October 18th across the country and across the globe. So this is going to be a major movement. Now, I just interviewed Ezra Levin. I want you to check it out right now because I think it's important to know for folks who are scared of protesting that you should still come out and do it. For that, he has all the details for you. So watch this interview right now between me and Ezra. Super excited today to be joined by Ezra Levin, who is one of the leaders of the No King's Day protest, one of the leaders of Indivisible. Now, I'm so excited to be here with you today because I hear you all have a big announcement on your end.
Huge announcement. Look, a lot of people have been asking about this since the No King's Day protest in June, where we had 2,169 communities organizing. We had 5 to 6 million people across 27 countries. People have been asking, when are we going to do it again? We need to do it again. Let's do it again. I'm here to announce we're doing it again. No Kings 2 is October 18th. That is a Saturday. We have all seen Trump ramping up his attack on American cities, him funding his secret police force. He is amping up this authoritarian breakthrough moment that we're all watching with our own eyes. We got to rise up. We got to push back. We got to show that Americans do not want a king. We need to recruit more people into this movement, into consistent organizing. No Kings Day 2, October 18th. Everybody's going to be there.
What do you want people to know about No King's Day 2? Because No King's Day 1, you all had, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was about 5 or 6 million folks nationwide. That's a conservative estimate. There could have been more. How much do you expect for No King's Day 2?
Oh, it's going to be bigger, Aaron. It's going to be bigger. There are going to be even more people out. Now, No King's Day in June was one of, if not the largest single-day protests in American history. People were everywhere. They were in rural communities. They were in red states. They were in blue states. They were in purple states. They were in city centers. They were just about everywhere. That is what we need in this moment. That's not me as an organizer talking. The experts in authoritarianism who study how countries successfully push back against would-be authoritarians, what they say is you need peaceful, broad-based, geographically dispersed protests. That's what you need in this moment. There's a famous figure that gets thrown out there a lot, 3.5%. 3.5% comes from Erica Chenoweth, Maria Stephan. They say you need 3.5% of the population consistently organizing against the authoritarians in defense of democracy in order to successfully save the democracy. Now, that means you don't need tens of millions of people. You don't need half the population out in the streets. 3.5%. In the US context, that's 11 or 12 million people consistently organizing. We got about halfway there with No Kings One. We need to keep building. That's what this is about. This is why we were showing up on the John Lewis Day, Good Trouble Lives On. This is why we're showing up on Labor Day this week. We need to continue to bring more people into this movement, welcome them in. I want a lot of people who have never in their life participated in a protest coming out on October 18th. That will be success on that day.
Do you expect, because we had protests in every single state around the country, along with, I believe it was 8 or 9 countries across the globe. Do you expect that expanding? Do you want this to go global even more?
Oh, it is going to expand. I guarantee you. Aaron, play this clip back on October 19th. Fact check me. We are going to have every single state represented. We're going to be in a couple of dozen countries. I guarantee you.
Now, some folks are concerned about protesting this administration being on the streets, especially with the United States military literally being deployed against American citizens in Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, potentially soon in Chicago. What's your message to folks who are saying, I don't want to come out, I'm kind of scared?
I think if you're kind of scared, that means you're paying attention. I think if you're not kind of scared, you're not paying attention. We don't say that we are a fearless movement. We say courage is contagious. To have courage is to understand there are risks, but to show up anyway because it is important for you, for your family, for your community, for your democracy. We have strength in numbers. This is how we protect each other. This is how we protect our democracy, is showing up. And every time somebody in a community decides this is the day they are going to stand up and show up in public, there are dozens of other eyes watching them and saying, oh gosh, if she can do it, if he can do it, I guess I should be doing it too. That's how we win.
I tend to agree there. So, I don't do things that are longer than 5-10 minutes usually. So my final question here for you, Ezra, is people want to get involved. People want to know where their nearest protest is. Where do you want them going?
Go to nokings.org. Go to nokings.org. You can get signed up. You can find a local event soon in your area. We're working with local indivisible groups and others around the country now to start populating a map that will soon go live. But you can sign up so that as soon as that map goes live, you can find out where it is in your area. And if there is not one in your area, I want to be clear, this is not being orchestrated by some big national operation paying for all these events. These are normal, everyday people starting events. So if there's not one in your area, good news. You get to be a pro-democracy advocate in your community. You get to start a No Kings Day protest. You get to bring your community together. That's how all of these events come together. So I hope to see everybody out on October 18th, and go to nokings.org for more information.
All right, folks, you heard it here first. In 6 weeks, October 18th, No Kings Day 2.0. Ezra, thanks so much for joining me, and I'm excited to see you on the ground on October 18th because I'll be covering it, so make sure to come out.
See you there, Aaron.
Hey, folks. Aaron Parnas here. Thank you so much for watching The Parnas Perspective. Please consider subscribing to support our work as we grow this independent news media entity into something that rivals mainstream every single day. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.